Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. Before I start my video, I would like to address the current situation that we're in right now. I know it's tough and you're not alone. I hope that you guys do keep safe and just follow whatever the professionals tell you, and this is not just for your own well-being but for everyone's as well. And I know it's tough, but we just have to do what we have to do. This will end. We don't know for sure when, but let's just hope it will. For today's video, I am going to do a foundation review on the latest Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. I purchased mine from the warehouse, but depending on where you purchase it from, the price in New Zealand will range from $22 to $24. I got mine for $24. This foundation right here comes in 24 shades. And the claims are it gives a hydration up to 12 hours. It has got hyaluronic acid. It has collagen to help plump the skin. It has illuminating pigments for a radiant finish, medium coverage, fragrance-free, and dermatologist tested. Now, based on the percentage that they have while doing a foundation survey on this, high percentage of people saying that their skin looks visibly improved, and some experience smoother skin texture. This is best applied with fingertips. I personally don't like to apply foundation with my fingertips, so we are going to go in between the sponge and the foundation brush. Now, looking at the packaging, it's definitely a lot skinnier than your usual Maybelline foundation, but this has got the same amount of product, which is 30 ml. Formula is a little bit thick, as you can see, and once blended, it has more of that moussey consistency. I have mine in the shade Sandy Beige. I've already primed my skin. I just used the moisturizer from Weleda. And apart from that, I'm not going to do any pore minimizing primer because I have stopped using primer. I find that the foundation actually lasts a little bit longer if I just let it sink into my skin with just moisturizer. So this is what we're working with. My face is doing a lot better. Obviously, it still has a lot of discoloration. I have like a big pimple here, and everywhere else there's not much textures happening. So I'm going to just use whatever I pumped on my hand and spread that all over my face. I've also applied the sunscreen beforehand. I have tried the Maybelline Dream Cover Urban Foundation with SPF, and my skin did not react well with the SPF that is built in that foundation, so I chucked it away. I know it's a waste, but I'm not gonna be able to use it. The foundation seemed to blend pretty good on my skin, though I could feel a slight tugging, mainly because the formula is a little bit too thick. It doesn't feel tacky, but it does feel a little bit wet, so this type of foundation like takes a while to dry. Coverage wise, with half a pump, that's what I get. It didn't entirely cover the pigmentation, though I'm quite happy with the fact that it covered majority of the spots that I have compared to this side. It doesn't feel heavy as well, so what I'm going to do is to pump another half and then just spread that on the side of my face. The color match is not perfect on my skin. It has a little bit of peach undertone to it, which is a bummer because I find that Maybelline foundations have a weird undertone. Some of them can run too golden or orange, and then some can be red, and then most of it are on the pink side. This is what my face looks like after applying a full pump. My skin looks very radiant. Still have a little bit of marks peeking through. The forehead area, I don't have a lot of dry patches in there, but then it kind of clung onto like this part right here, which I don't understand why it's doing that. Also, it kind of looked a little bit heavy on my nose area, which is weird for a radiant foundation. And around my chin area, like this area right here did not get covered, but around it, it looks a little bit cakey. And like if you look up close, it looks like I'm wearing makeup. But from afar, it looks pretty good. Like the finish and everything is good. Color match, it kind of oxidized a little bit and it's sort of matching. You could still tell that it's kind of off. So what I'm going to do is to just dab whatever is left on my hand with a blender and then pounce that on the areas where I want to cover. So here is what my skin looks like. It gave a full medium coverage. I still see a lot of discoloration and stuff. So if you have really bad marks on your skin, I would probably suggest for you to spot conceal before or after applying this foundation. But overall, it looks pretty good. Now that I went over the areas with a sponge, it kind of looked, it blended into my skin except for the forehead area. We'll find out how the foundation is looking after I've set my face and applied my concealer. So this is what it looks like after I've powdered my face. Hopefully by the end of the day it will look pretty good once my oils have started to come out. So the time at the moment is 10:56 a.m. almost 11 a.m. I am doing a few errands today because we are going to have official lockdown by Thursday, which is in 2 days. I will update you how the foundation is going then. So here is what my face looks like after putting my full face of makeup. And everything actually looked pretty good on my face, except for the forehead area, which looks a little bit cakey. Like I've already spritzed down some glowing setting mist and it still looked pretty cakey, especially around this area. But we will see how it goes. I'm about to run errands and I will probably check back with you guys at the end of the day to see how everything is looking. The time right now is 1:38 p.m. and I've been wearing this foundation for about 2 hours, if not less. But here is the current situation that I'm dealing with. Coverage wise, everything is still there. I'm a little bit shiny on my T-zone area and on the sides of my forehead, mainly because it's sunny today and I have like 3 layers of clothing on because when I initially left the house, it was a bit cold. But I was right when I said that once the oil starts to come out, my foundation looks better. Now, I do have oily skin, so this situation right here is usually normal, especially if I'm wearing like a radiant foundation. So far, so good. Coverage is still there. I refrain from touching my face with my hands because you're not supposed to do that unless you wash your hands. Yeah, so far, I'm quite happy with how this foundation looks. I feel like this is originally what I was expecting when I applied the foundation, but to my surprise, it has more of a natural finish and a little bit of glow, but it wasn't like dewy or anything like that. I will check back with you for the remainder of the day to see how everything holds up. For now, I am not going to touch up or do anything with it. I'm quite happy with how it looks at the moment. So yeah, that's us for now and I will see you at the end of the day. The time is almost 7 p.m., which means that I've worn this foundation for about 8 hours. And oh my gosh, my current face situation right now is atrocious. I will zoom you guys in so you have the full experience. So as you can see, my face is extremely shiny at this point. The coverage on my face is pretty much there. Still, nothing has really budged or anything like that, but I do find that the coverage around my nose area has started to disappear. My forehead, it's still pretty there, it's just it's too shiny. My chin area, however, looks very, very cakey. And you could see like a mustache line around here, and I find that in the corners of my smile lines, which I rarely ever have any foundation sink into the area, it kind of like sunk into this area right here, which is really weird. Like that's honestly the first time ever that I've had a foundation sink into that area. So I'm going to try and blot the excess oil using a sponge. Now that I've blotted my face, I could definitely see where the coverage started to lift. This area right here and this area right here, the coverage are faded. My nose got really cakey along this area right here, and the coverage kind of separated along that area. The middle of my nose is fine. The chin area, however, is problematic. The forehead area, initially when I first applied the foundation, that's my problem area where it looked very cakey and it looked like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. But right now, it looks like skin, but better. Like you can't see any lines or any where I actually applied the foundation, and it kind of blended in. So I feel like throughout the day it kind of melted into my skin fine. But this area right here where I have that pimple and where I have slight textures, that's where I had a problem, as well as the smile line. If you do have dry skin, I would probably stay away from this foundation. Even though it's radiant, I would highly recommend for you to extremely moisturize your face, because of the thickness in the formula, it can cling onto the dry patches. Like I do have oily skin, but I have some dry patches and it definitely caked around that area. If you have a lot of textures, maybe stay away from this foundation, because along my chin area, that's where it got really, really bad. But for the most part, I feel like I am going to try and wear this foundation when I am just gonna go to the grocery store or just to pick up mail or whatever. But if I were to wear this on a work day, I would probably stay away from this because it didn't do good. In the future, I might have to mix that with my other foundations. Just because I purchased this product, I don't want to waste the whole bottle. So yeah, that's my entire review. I'm really sad that this foundation did not work for me. I wanted to love this because it's very affordable, and I find that the Maybelline Matte and Poreless is the only foundation from Maybelline that I truly love, because it has that in between, as well as the Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. That one is bomb as well in terms of longevity, the coverage, the wear, and everything. This one is just a miss for me. Let me know if you guys have tried this foundation and what are your thoughts. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Always remember to be safe.